Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Culture Review. We have a full panel. We have people that will be joining us later as we roll. We have the great privilege of having my friend Wes Moody, who's been with me for a very long time on the show, two incredible guests, and of course, the man from the ocean, our very own turtle, Shellback TJC. But let's get underway. Let's say hi to Wes. Wes, what do you got going on, my man?
Well, we have Trekking on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and then we have whatever Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific time. And right now we're working on the Conspiracy Guy Chronicles, my animated series, which I believe you will be making an appearance in.
I will. I'm very excited.
So that's coming up. We're making it, which is really nerve-wracking, but I'm sure the finished product will be wonderful.
It will be. I'm very excited, and it's well written, and I know the voice acting is going to be top notch, so it'll be spectacular. So
yes, give us a little Baxter Talkman real fast.
This is, I don't know. What is this?
Whoa.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to have a good time. Of course, he'll have a little more audio effect in there, but that was a lot of fun. We've got some folks in the chat already, some super chats I want to say early on because I don't know how long he has, but we've got our good friend Makini dropping a $10 super chat right at the beginning of the show. It is no problem, man. We'll definitely break our legs today for $10. Well, actually, probably need more money to break my legs, but look, I just want to say thanks. I know you'd love to be here, but hey, man, you got to go get that money. Go get that job, man. It's good to see you, though. Love you, man. And of course, Wes hit us with a crazy face, smiley face super sticker like he does. You're on the panel, but thank you for that. Love that 99-cent super sticker. And of course, we got a bunch of other folks out there we'll get to in just a second. We have, of course, next to Wes, the very talented and underappreciated T-shirted historian.
Hey, Culture, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
And hello, everybody out there in YouTube land.
Yeah, what do you got going on, my friend?
Well, it is Sunday. It's a chilled out day, and I normally I don't do very much on Sundays, although I am going to start releasing some smaller content video things where I have more personal discussions about things that interest me, especially as far as the TTRPG scene goes.
That's cool. I'm sure people will like that. I mean, I know a lot of people are getting back into tabletop lately, so that's a pretty good plan.
I know that guy Storyman Jack is into tabletop role playing games.
Yeah, we've got a whole group of people that still do them, but yeah, absolutely.
Well, in fact, I have to take my son to play his Dungeons and Dragons game this afternoon.
Oh,
see,
fun.
Well, and he bought a 3D printer, so he printed out all his stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the way to go about it, right? If you instead of buying it, print it, because buying it right now is stupid, and the company that's making most of the stuff is incredibly they have difficult politics. Let's just put it that way.
He spent a total of $700 on the equipment,
right?
And he can sell what he's printed because when you buy the files, you get to keep them.
Right.
He can sell what he's printed for what you're buying them online.
Yep.
He's already made his money back.
Yep, and then people will take them and paint them and be like, yay. So yeah,
and the polymer, one big thing of polymer is only like $30.
Yep.
So he can get 50 or 60 $12 things.
So he went with a resin printer.
Polymer resin,
Yeah. This right here is a 3D printed miniature. It's not finished, but you can see the quality is just awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially in the resin. I mean, I of course like ABS and PLA and all of that, but I use it more for prototyping than for miniatures. But the resin really does. I have a resin one too, but the resin does a really good job with miniatures. So absolutely.
Yeah, he got his first job. That's the first thing he bought.
Makes perfect sense. That's a good use of money. You can always print things, and of course, the voice we've been hearing from is, of course, Storyman Jack, who's had a few weeks off, and he made a major life change.
About 3 months off, actually.
Well, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Well, I got sick. My parents got sick. Had a bunch of extra work. Then I went on a cruise, got engaged, all that stuff. So, plus I watched Wheel of Time.
Ooh.
I watched it, and I couldn't write for about, it was a month.
Ooh.
Because Wheel of Time is up there with Lord of the Rings for me, right?
Right.
So I actually read Wheel of Time before I read Lord of the Rings when I was a kid.
Wow.
And what they did to it hurt me so bad. I was like, what am I doing? I'm just a drop in the water. If they're going to keep doing this shit and they're going to do this to Lord of the Rings, what am I doing? So I had a little existential crisis about writing. But, I decided I'm going to just keep going, keep doing it.
That's really sad to hear because I have not read the Wheel of Time series, but I did watch the Amazon show. And although the first episode made me want to turn it off immediately, I stuck to it. Second episode started to get better. And before I knew it, I was really enjoying the characters and stuff and the show.
You will until you read the book.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me. Lord Thoth, especially, has been pretty vocal on my show about how much the show has deviated from the books. And that really makes me sad because
it wasn't just deviated. They changed things that were substantial to the story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, and with that, that was Storyman Jack and his introduction. Next to him, of course, we have the man of many flavors and lots of food and humor, our good friend Nick Weiser. What's going on?
It is a pleasure to be back on the Sunday Culture Review. Finally back on here. Obviously right now I just did a stream with Imperatus, who now has a channel, and Pope Metallicus. We talked the year of 1988 in metal. That was fun. Toxic Tuesday, we'll be talking Major League, and of course I yell at park cars with you and Wes and a bunch of other dicks on yelling at park cars, so that's pretty cool. And last but not least, I got some Macho Man comedic rants that are coming out this week that I'm gonna have Yeti Cast edit, so that if I don't just do a Mickey Mouse voice rant, I also got some Macho Man ones coming out. So stay tuned and hail to the chat.
Hail to the chat. Yeah, we'll get over and say hi to everybody in just a second. And last but not least is our man of the water, our favorite turtle, our Shelly back. What's up?
Oh man, I'm just wrapping up my day with you guys. I've been up since about this time yesterday. Because I'm a nighttime person now, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So after this broadcast, I'm gonna hit the hay and hopefully wake up in time for Lorena. So.
Oh yeah, we've got the Welcome to Florida stream tonight. That should be a blast. And of course, for those of you who missed the opportunity to see Lorena's 3,000 subscriber extravaganza, go back and watch it. Do yourself a favor, especially the first 10 or 15 minutes, because she was true to her word and went on camera in a samba outfit from Carnival. It was very impressive.
It was really nice to watch. It was fun.
She made it herself. She had incredible guests, and she is a delight. We are very, very privileged to know her and to be able to call her friends. So congratulations on 3K. Go ahead.
As Roy Orbison would say,
mercy. Well, beyond all of the toxic masculinity that's in this room, I want to say hi to the people that are out there in the chat, including our good friend Lord Thoth, Punk Nova Trace, of course. OC Dobbins is with us. We've got Low Spec. We've got Pope Metallicus hanging out with us. Thanks for dragging him over here, Nick. We got Pat S. Good to see you, my friend. Olaf Von S. Keely Chow, Roll Tide, my friend. We've got Monkey Jeebus with us. We've got, of course, Wes is here, as we've shown before. Our good buddy, Captain Trek. Good to see you. And let's see. Mutant Bamhammer. Nick Weiser, Best Weiser. Well, there you go. Chris Fisk is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. We've got HVP with us as well. We got Mondo Bizarro. What's up, my friend? Good to see you. And let's see. Oh, the ever lovely Tina Bojan. Working and lurking. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Of course, the Pale Rider is rolled into town. Good to see you, buddy. And of course, Fizz Chozo, who I said hi to a minute ago. And we've got our good friend TZ Canadian. Good to see you. Yeah, Nick the Metalhead in panel. That's right. Well, there's a lot of us here. A lot of us like metal. Wookie is speaking a second language. Órale, mi bonita pendejos y pendejas. Yeah. So I know what I said too. So there you are. And let's see. Who's watching TV? I don't know. Of course, we have one of the people that I was hoping would get here, the very and ever popular now, Fat Steven Seagal. What's up, Fat Steven?
1 second, stretching.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's up? What's going on?
How are you doing? You came in during intros. We're just rapping intros.
I'll come back later when I'm interrupting the stories.
No. You're perfect timing. We're about to get started on the stories. I know you've been streaming like a beast. Have you left your chair in like the last week?
I do get up to comb my would-be culture hair, but no.
Yeah,
it's busy, but it's like I think the chair wants to secede from me. But other than that, it hasn't felt like I've been sitting there for 16 hours a day.
Yeah, I think I can hear everything Storyman Jack is doing on his keyboard.
I can hear a massive watery echo.
Well, what's really weird is I'm using earbuds. There shouldn't be anything.
That's weird. It's almost like your mic's not picking you up either.
Yeah.
Huh.
It could be your earbuds picking you up instead of the actual mic.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, maybe it's not on the mic. I don't know. That's weird though.
Check your audio input settings through your Windows. See if it's your earbuds or your actual mic set.
Yeah. Of course, we also had a great comic creator just join us, or a writer, I guess, also a comic creator, although he's not a drawer, artist.
Many hats.
You wear some hats. It's the Red Gaze. What's up, Gaze?
Not too much. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being here. I got a few more people to say hi to in the chat. Of course, we've got the Front Porch Conservative hanging out with us. We've got Rob Altus. We've got Imperatus, Forbidden Ruin, Common Nerd. What's going on? We've got executive producer Sol Leibowitz, Commander Ed Straker of Shadow, the ever lovely Sherry. Look at her. We've got Marby Dog with us. We've got Aiken with us. Misha is here. What's up, Misha? I love that avatar. A little bit of mermaid for you. And let's see.
The proper one.
That's right. Let's see. I'm struggling to get through season 4 of Matt Groening's Just Disenchantment. It's a well-written animated series of ugly and unlikable characters. Yeah, I wouldn't even tried based on what I'd heard about that going in. But let me know what you think of it. Maybe I'll suffer it. Anybody else see that show, Enchanted?
Yeah.
Not season 4 yet, no. But it's like I don't know.
Disenchanted, yeah. We'll have to see. Or Disenchantment, I should say. Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be like.
It just didn't catch me.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be more like Dungeons and Dragons or something, but it really hasn't been. But it's not terrible, but it's not as funny as I thought it could be.
Yeah, I didn't hear positive things about it going in. So I'm trying to like limit the amount of time I sacrifice to stuff that's going to be marginal.
As you should.
Speaking of which, we've got subjects to cover, gentlemen. Would you like to get started?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'm only here for
Absolutely.
limited time if that's okay.
Well, Stephen,
Hi, Stephen.
We are grateful that you are here. We can start there. We can start with what's happening in your neck of the woods. I know that there's a lot of negative, in a particular province, but it sounds like there's some positives going around elsewhere. Have you been able to touch base with anybody that's experiencing the uplifting part of what's happening?
There was a clip today of, I suppose there's now a convoy in Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
But politics aside, because most people hear me say this, I'm not political. Yes, there's political attachments to all of this. I'm not political. I don't give an F about your politics. I don't give a damn what you try to label me or anyone else, left, right. I don't care. It's you want to do that, go for it. You don't know me. You don't know these people. Don't label me. Don't try to, because you're uncomfortable that someone doesn't believe in politics.
Right.
That being said, there has been a great admiration for the amount of humanity within through all of this we've seen over 3 weeks. I've seen people drop their fears, come together, dance, take care of their capital, clean up. And I've also seen the dark sides of people trying to light fire bricks or fireworks and duct tape doorways and condo windows, harass people wearing masks. There's a whole yin and yang going on. But right now, after we've seen with the riot police from different, even I think UN police as well were down there.
Wow.
Police from Edmonton and all over Canada. It's not only not over, it's more of a discussion if it's going to continue being called an aftermath or an afterthought. And whatever message came throughout these, I think a lot of human spirit has been re-engaged and reaffirmed. And I don't think it's in anyone's control anymore.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
I mean, it's in somebody's control. You have one primary figure that's, got this whole thing the way it is at the moment.
That is true, but that will have to be debatable depending on how they vote on it, whether it was going through, whether his necessary means were worth what's been going on. Supposedly there's also special investigations units also investigating the horse trampling and how cops have been acting with the Rebel News reporter getting shot point blank in the leg.
Saw that.
Yeah, there's also been leaks of the art of the cop and how they are talking
Right.
about this. Like some saying the J boot.
I saw some of those. Yeah.
Whatever's going to happen, the war of optics is not going to end, but
Right.
this is going to go on for years.
I hope not.
No, not Ottawa. I mean, the discussion, the debate, and trying to figure out the truth. And the truth is both. The streamers are pretty much have been there, have given definite opposite opinion of what's been going on, because I've covered different feeds, different streamers doing that, and then you got the legacy media at the same time. So whatever happens, it all depends on who's willing to answer the questions, who is going to answer the questions, and the perception of the individual that wants to listen to those answers and questions. Because we're not all the same.
No, I know, and it's great hearing your perspective. I appreciate that. Go ahead, Wes.
Thank you.
Well, here's the truth as I see it. You have a puppet of the World Economic Forum, and
easy,
and so even if you take that out of it, what you really have, if you take that out of it, what you have is somebody that has legitimate opposition, political opposition, policy, good faith policy differences. I'm talking about the truckers. And you have a prime minister that is basically declaring a state of emergency and calling them terrorists and racists over
misogynist
over what is a good faith policy disagreement. Am I wrong? It seems like normal democracy stuff.
I have to interject quickly because I try to say, Wes, you're not totally wrong. But at the same time, if we're looking at the aspect of a whole, because I learned about the PPC throughout this, and I was like, I don't know what the whole, they want the West trying to secede, wanting to just separate from Canada, whatever the hell that crap was, don't care. But some of the organizers that are attached to this, whether you're looking at the Pat Kings and the Tamara and all as such, there is definitely conflicting narratives and manifestos that throughout that can taint the perspective as well. What I don't agree with is a person who is literally supposed to be prime minister for a country villainizing people and giving the okay for the rest of the country to do the same. That divide principle he did, like you're technically the leader of the country. You're there to say you're standing there for all Canadians, yet you're villainizing Canadians at the same time. It's probably the same people that actually could have voted for you. So you were already putting the principle out that it's okay for a country to demean, attack, label, and that in itself, even if he wasn't a politician and you were a parent doing that and your kids were watching you do that, it's definitely an impression tactic. We're raised to work out differences with the discussion before we throw a fist. We're all raised with this mentality. And that is the simplest mentality that I cannot understand and put my head around. Politician or not, from a human aspect, bruh. And I don't get it. And then we see it just feed out. It's like I had a statement, and I say it from time to time after covering all this. I have never been more proud to be a Canadian and more embarrassed to be a Canadian at the same time.
Yeah.
I've never been-
And Stephen, that's very wise. It really is. You know, and I have a feeling that here in the States, we're going to be doing the same thing. But, you know, again, I mean, oftentimes you see something happen in one country and, you know, similar things happen elsewhere. And there's many reasons for that. Wes touched on a couple of them a few minutes ago. And, you know, anyway, I'm going to give you the wrap up those thoughts, right. Steven. No, please. And then that way we can move on to something maybe a little bit more, fun.
Can I say one more thing though? I'm not trying to sound depressing. I'm not trying to sound depressing. Everyone has seen my channel has been pretty much gaming, making Fortnite jokes, all that stuff. The whole thing that was going down in there was something a lot more. It's not black and white. It never has been. It's the gray center and the colors that are in that gray section. Yep. I have never seen more people come together in unity, more people drop their fears, not just drop their masks, but drop their fears and just have fun with their neighbor like a barbecue and see Canada Day over 3 weeks. They have respected their capital. I can vouch for that. They have cleaned up garbage. The veterans protected, shoveled snow off, and kept that war memorial safe. I have never seen so much of that respect across everything in my life. But I also can't discount the negativity of what people or truckers or convoy attachments have been doing to the residents of Ottawa. It's yin and yang. There is no siding in this, in my opinion. There is just a bunch of accountability that needs to be done on everything around. And the accountability thing is where the adult mentality better come in. And
it hasn't.
See how that plays out. No, it hasn't.
Right. Yeah. Well, and again, Stephen, I really do appreciate the coverage you've been doing. I know we all do. Thank you for doing that. Again, I appreciate you taking the time to join us today. But we do have some good stuff to talk about. It's one of the other things that we do here. I just want everybody it's all of my Canadian neighbors, all my Canadian friends. I just want to say we're all with you. You know, we're all with you. We're all struggling with the same thing you are as we're watching events unfold. So, and again, this could be a preview here in this country to what we may see in the future if things continue to go that way.
I just hope violence is low key.
Yeah.
If there is any. Yeah.
There shouldn't be any violence.
That.
Yeah. Well, but we've been witnessing some stuff that's very distasteful lately. But I do want to talk about something that might be tasteful. You guys
let's talk tasteful. Absolutely. I'm in. Let's do it.
Is it
no, you don't have to be sorry, Stephen. That was perfect timing, my friend.
So not Amazon.
No, we're going to talk about some Uncharted. Remember they were saying that this film was going to bomb? It's not bombing. It's doing great. This thing in its 3-day is hit 44 million, but what they don't tell you is on its 4-day, it's going to top 51 million domestically. That's pretty big film opening. And then it's well above what they projected in the $30 million range, right? And I have to say I'm pretty excited. How about you guys? You think this is good news?
I think. All right. I guess I'll lead off. So I think this is huge news for many reasons. One, obviously, it shows you more than one movie can make money at the box office opening weekend in this situation, whatever you want to call it anymore. And also, too, obviously, there's an audience there for Mark Wahlberg, and there's people who know it's the guys at Spider-Man. You also have the people who know it's the Uncharted video game. And most video game movies don't do well. Most of them bomb like hell. Even the last Mortal Kombat hurt really badly at the box office. Didn't have anywhere near this close of a good opening weekend. So clearly people are interested. And also you also have the controversy with it not having the message. And you also have Mark Wahlberg. I'm not sure if you know about this culture, but Mark Wahlberg has been coming out more about, I guess you could say, his beliefs, his stance on things. Right. And you add that into the mix without the message. It's a perfect storm for the press to try to slander this movie every bit that they can to get the thing to fail. And clearly people are responding to this movie, whether people like it or not. Obviously time will tell them that, but it's nice to see people are also still wanting to go out and do something. So the results are there. You can't deny the proof is in the pudding when it's happening right before our own two eyes. So hopefully the movie's okay.
And I've heard both. I've heard mixed reviews here, but I'll interrupt us just for a moment to say Lorena Creole is here. Everybody say thank you to her for congratulating me on my 3K, but more so congratulate her for getting to 3K about 2 weeks before me, which is how it seems to go with the two of us. So she's about 2 weeks ahead. So, and then of course, Fat Steven, where are you at now, subscriber wise, my friend?
I am 500 away from 5K.
There you go. There you go.
Not unexpected.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
I think the events of the day are actually making your making your channel grow explosively.
No kidding.
I feel like I'm losing the measuring contest here.
Well, it's not
I'm
measuring.
feeling very pequeño.
You're very close
like
to a million, Wes. Trust me.
I feel very pequeño at the moment. Yes.
Pequeño. All right.
And also, quick tweet. She had
Yeah.
her celebration stream yesterday, so if you missed that, go check it out.
Yeah, I said that actually right before you got here. I'm like, you should definitely check out that stream. You can see every bit of how amazing everybody that hangs out with Lorena is. It was just lovely to be there briefly and then observe it.
And her outfit was absolutely amazing.
It was.
Yeah.
Thank God
I samba'd all night long after that.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we've got all these amazing people congratulating Lorena, of course, and of course also congratulate Fat Steven, who is, man, I can't believe he's so close, so close. So
the celebration is Saturday for 45.
I love seeing good people succeed like this. It's great.
Me too. And it's revisiting what we were talking about with Uncharted. Anybody else have any thoughts about how successful this is off the bat?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead, my man.
So my perspective is I never played the games, right?
Right.
So I'm not attached to it.
Right.
So I wanted to see it just because I wanted to see how, he does outside of Spider-Man, and I like Mark Wahlberg. So that's the reason I'm going to go see it. If it's a good movie, I'm going to tout it. If it's a bad movie, I'm not. But, I think that's kind of the draw is more the actors. Yeah, I don't know how popular Uncharted was. It's obviously not like a Halo or a Cyberpunk or anything like that. I know it's got its fan base. I mean, didn't what's his name do like a little short about
Nathan
it?
Fillion.
Yes.
Fillion. Yep.
Yeah, and I was excited to see that. So, I mean, I think I'm going to go see it just because I think that these two are good actors who, if they have the right material, it should be a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm like Jack. I'm not particularly familiar with the video game, but the a couple of trailers that I've seen, and I mean, we know how trailers can be misleading, but the trailers that I've seen for this movie, it looks good. So I'm not surprised at the numbers that are showing.
And for those of you on the panel who have seen it, please don't spoil it. That's all I'm.
I have a question.
Right.
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
The question is this movie being successful, and not trying to sound like a negative Nancy, is this movie being successful because of the success of Tom Holland in this No Way Home, and it's just being attached and flowed over, or is it actually because the film has a standing within itself to become the next franchise? That's like looking at the Resident Evil.
I honestly think the star power is what's bringing it up right now.
Yeah, but do you think it?
Yep,
well,
I agree.
I don't know, but we do have someone who joined us late. It's AFK Bard. How are you today?
Hey.
You have
Sorry,
any?
Howdy.
You're fine. Do you have any thoughts on this beautiful Uncharted film or no?
I have a few, but I will say, obviously, I'm biased in this fact that I have a thing for Tom Holland, but I'm totally open about that. I'm so shameless about that. But on the side, I was already looking forward to it because of that. But I really like Mark Wahlberg. I don't go out of my way to watch movies that he's in, but I remember the first one I saw him in, I think it was called Four Brothers or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was like ages ago, but I loved him in that. And just like Storyman Jack, I've watched a friend playing Uncharted, and so like I got the feeling that it was kind of like Indiana Jones with Tomb Raider and all this kind of stuff thrown in.
Very much.
And so I'm kind of just excited to see that kind of story. And I'm going in, obviously, like I don't have to worry about like, adaptations, but I find nowadays, like even the Marvel movies, the MCU, they changed enough about all of the characters where, like if you were a purist, you wouldn't have liked it, you know? So I'm going in thinking it'll be a fun adventure movie. And also, I'm hyped for the stunts
Oh, yeah.
because I thought that, you know, all of it was like, you know, oh, it's just like CGI, blah, blah, blah. But like, I was watching like behind the scenes and like they're throwing stuff at Tom Holland and he's leaping and flipping and grabbing things. And like, he's actually doing those motions. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing like the whole thing put together.
Yeah, the scene that we've all seen from the obviously the preview, where he's like clinging onto the boxes from the plane. He was actually a considerable distance off the ground doing those actions. They were shooting that for almost 3 weeks, based on what he said. So
wow,
just that scene alone. So that's pretty bananas, right? So,
well, I mean, if they have a good story and you go in and you're excited and it's a good movie, I mean, it needs to be touted. We say enough about all the bad crap coming out, right? I mean, I started off with my Wheel of Time rant, but the good movies, we need to bolster and show them, hey, look, we still willing to give you money. We know not all of you are crazy.
Right.
Let's work together and do this. That's why I like the Daily Wire doing the stuff that they're doing. You know, I mean, show Hollywood that they need to align to us. You know, and you know, they can write those message stories. Just create the stories for those messages. Don't use all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I want to.
I was just going to say real quick. And then Nick, you can go. Aiken, I wasn't really going to do a 3K celebration, but I guess I can. You know, I was kind of going to do a member stream and just talk about, you know, 3K and all of that. But maybe I will. I mean, it would be kind of fun. But you know, my goal ultimately is to get to 10K by the end of the year. So I'll probably have a celebration at either 4 or 5K. But we'll see. You know, if enough people are interested, I can always do a celebration stream, bring in some people. It is a milestone, and I'm proud of it. I think Lorena should be. I think Fat Steven should be very proud of how his channel has grown. So I there will be. So yeah.
Hashtag 10K shirtless casino.
I don't really. I really.
I thought that was at 5K.
No, it's 10, and
it's 10.
I regret that, by the way, very much.
You got the whole year to hit those barbells, Culture.
Dude, you know, I'm gonna have to hit like I'm gonna have to go lift the gym in order to like get back into shape. So,
do it early in the morning when your skin is really tight. That way, you know, right after you wake up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take like
there's another way. You can just get one of those T-shirts that has the bare chest and wear one of those. Technically,
yeah. Bare chested casino.
No, that's cheating.
It's not cheating.
And Commander Ed Straker of Shadow does say, do watch the Lorena Creel's full celebration 3K because OG Star Wars showed up in her belly dancing halter top. Ooh. You know, I could say that it's a good thing, but
Abu nearly had a meltdown.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I agree with Chris Mead here. I don't know if you guys do, but No Way Home might bring some eyeballs, but I'll give it a shot. I think No Way Home brought a bunch of eyeballs. If this thing's gonna really tackle 51 domestic by the end of tomorrow, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Well, it is a pretty popular video game franchise as well.
It is.
And I'm always a little bit shy with video game movies because historically they've been kind of bad for the most part. You had a movie here and there, but. Also, there's been so much going on with Indiana Jones. Like people are so kind of sick and tired of it at this point. And now there's another one that nobody's looking forward to, and this could possibly be something that kind of fills those shoes.
Yeah, that would be awesome if this like kicks off and then gets more popular than Indiana Jones. Yeah. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking forward to this, but you know, it's been this particular game, and I'm just going to read some facts to you real quickly. Gaze brought up the fact that gaming franchises really don't translate well into films. They just don't. Yep. Sometimes you get lucky and you'll get a good film, but it's very hit and miss, few and far between. I mean, you know, and I think Fat Steven brought up some examples as well. But
go ahead. Well, the other thing also is I just actually watched the trailer for the first time, and it has like a National Treasure Indiana Jones mix feel, and it seems like they're trying to not just focus on the game like scenes you'll see in a game, but it seems like they're trying to focus on actual character development between Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, and you can feel it there. So if Mark Wahlberg has that personality of like the Sully we've seen in games, but also applying his own type of movie adaptation throughout everything, I actually want to see it now because of that trailer. And honestly, at the end of the day, you got to watch it to make your own opinion, or don't watch it and make your opinion based off assumption. I don't know which one makes more sense.
Yeah, well, I think just real quickly, I wanted to get to the point that, you know, you're right, Stephen. But as far as video game films go, this one finishes in 4th place as far as openings. It's because in the 3 days it's been open domestically, it's made $44.1 million. So it is in 4th place overall opening.
Who are the top 3?
I don't know who the top 3 were. Let me give me 2 seconds. The top 3 were Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Lara Croft Tomb Raider,
of course,
and Uncharted. There you go.
That's not bad. So that's actually like Resident. Then we probably got followed by Resident Evil and as well as Silent Hill and everything.
Resident Evil is way down there, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Nobody liked that film.
Yeah, Angry Birds was in 5th. Rampage.
There was an Angry Birds movie?
Yeah.
How do you make a movie out of that?
Oh, it was hilarious. It was actually really well done the way it was. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
but I have a point to make real quick.
Yeah, please.
So when you write a video game, you're balancing the story with gameplay. Yeah. When you're writing a movie, you're not able to balance story with anything. Yeah. It's just a story. So it's kind of like novels. There's always going to be something they have to cut out of novels. There's always going to have to be something that they change. There always will be, because that's how you adapt to the screen. With video games, it's harder to do because that balance is way off between story and gameplay, because the story doesn't necessarily have to make 100% sense if you've got the gameplay involved.
But then how do you describe a movie like, let's say, Hardcore Henry, which they did all in first person kind of feel like we...
I didn't get to watch that. I walked out after like 5 minutes because I was about to throw up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because first person kind of throws you off with the vertigo, right?
Yeah. Right, yeah. So when they do a good video game adaptation, they have to change some major things for it to work out to balance. And that's where a lot of people have issues.
Well, and this is in Mondo Bizarro points out a terrible film, Max Payne. It was such a
oh my god! Doom anyone?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Max Payne was where we got bullet time from, right?
Yeah.
You know, and yet, you know, this particular film was terrible. So
they're not all Sam Dunks, are they?
No, they're always always. Of course, our good friend Blue-Eyed Roof Korean the Based, $5 says, I heard the word cyberpunk. Shameless plug again for a 4-part documentary on the complete history of the cyberpunk genre. 3 quarters out now. Check Indigo Gaming. Okay, absolutely. Do this. I love those types of documentaries about the games and the gaming gaming sphere.
Supposedly in general with Cyberpunk, they just had like a major update that was supposedly bigger than the game, and it has fixed everything they promised. Yeah, 60. And I'm like, I gotta buy an SSD for one game, bro. They really went at it.
Hey, if I'm remembering correctly, they're gonna do something with Tech War that William Shatner wrote as well.
Oh, please don't say that. Boy. I don't want that nightmare yet.
And it was an okay novel series. It was.
I love the novels, dude. I still have
the novels were fun.
Releases. I still have.
It was like Private Detective in a cyberpunk era. It's really great.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm supposed to wear a ringleader's outfit. Yeah, great. I don't know about that.
We can call Hugh Jackman for that, right?
Just wear a bald cap, Casino. I think
that means you get a whip culture. Remember that.
Okay. All right. Well, Well, then maybe I'm down. But I do know this. Latino Slant says, shave your beard for the 5K celebration. I'll be there. Maybe. I tell you what. I will shave the beard part. I'm going to leave the goatee part. Is that a fair exchange?
No, I think you got to shave a line.
Got to be clean shaven.
Shave a line right down the middle.
Yeah. Captain Trek says you will do a 3K stream. All right. Well.
Whoa, that sounds like that was a threat. That sounds like a threat. Like that sounds like a threat. You will do.
Actually, I have a theory that if Culture Casino were to completely cut his hair back and shave his beard off, he would kind of look like a young Larry King. So.
Wow.
No, don't. Culture is so much better
Those
than
are fighting words right there. I
I don't
think.
have a pot belly, do I?
Before you shave your beard,
I think-
can you try to make it look like Tony Stark's beard, just out of curiosity's sake?
Absolutely.
I think if
the thin stash.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think if he shaved his head and kept the goatee, he would look like Walter White. Maybe do that. Shave your head. Yeah.
Wow.
That
I
was
know.
shocking.
The shaving the head thing ain't happening.
Did somebody say Walter White?
It looks
Yes.
good on my
Walter
friend
White,
here,
yes.
Mr. Walter White, otherwise known as Shellback, but it does not look good on me. My head looks like a topographical map of Utah because I have so many
Nice
scars on my
potatoes.
head. It's ridiculous. No, you don't want
Yeah,
to see them.
I have
Why
the
do you
same
have
problem.
scars on your head? What did you do? Jump off of bikes and stuff?
I
He's a
did-
chronic
I-
head butter.
Amongst other things. Yeah. I seriously, just growing up, right? Every single birthday, from my first birthday until I was about 8 years old, on every birthday, we went to the hospital to get me stitches.
I did have one question though. Like we're seeing the success with Uncharted and how video games are up and downs. And I'm going to bring up Dungeons and Dragons as a tabletop movie that was I can't watch that ever again. But Netflix also they announced the new BioShock movie adaptation or series they're putting to their platform. Do you think we're going to get the same type of response? So hopefully in a positive manner, like Uncharted is doing, but on a streaming platform, or are we going to get another Cowboy Bebop?
It's Netflix.
It just depends on if they do it well. I mean, from what I've been seeing, I trust Netflix more than I trust Amazon right now.
Well, yeah. Well,
we're not talking about that one. I'm not going to Lord of the Rings. I don't have an enema big enough for that one.
But Latino slant is saying the obvious thing. Tom Holland is huge right now. So it makes a lot of sense that this film drove a lot of eyeballs right at the beginning. And again, there's mixed reviews out there. The industry, if you look at the trades, they hate the film. But
that tells me I want to go see it. At least give it a chance.
That's true. That could be a good sign because those guys tend to have really bad taste nowadays.
They do.
Yeah. And Zach says the obvious thing. The game is story and character driven. It should be a slam dunk. You're right. And I loved the first 3 games. The fourth, I was a little bit negative on. The first 3 games were brilliant, and I loved them.
What was the side one they had? It was focusing on the female protagonist. What was that one?
Nobody remembers that one.
It's still part of the franchise.
Steven, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This game.
I'm trying to remember the titles. I remember the title, but it wasn't a DLC. It was an actual secondary title where they focused on the female characters, right? What was that?
I can't even remember that. I can't even recall.
Lost Legacy. Thank you, Atwood.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. Cavatinho Calverman Chase says, has anyone seen the Pinocchio trailer yet? No.
Pauly Shore. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, we'll have to. Man,
You've never heard a more soy voice in your life.
But Daddy, when do I get to leave the ranch? Please end it now. End it now. Just stop now.
I heard a Pinocchio movie and then I saw that clip and I thought, why? Like each one has gotten progressively worse. And then it's like, already, who wants to see a Pinocchio movie? Who? Who even enjoyed the story?
No one. It's
then you go and get Pauly Shore. Like, was he literally maybe the only person who was okay with doing a voice for it? Maybe.
No, I beg to differ. Honestly, Pinocchio, if Pauly Shore did Pinocchio, it should have been like, my nose is growing, but he squeezed the wood. You need like in the army now, Encino Man, Pauly Shore invested in this. Not what I was hearing, like someone's like, please, when did I get to leave the farm? I want to experience real life having me powdered from behind by a wood chipper.
I'm an old school Pauly Shore fan from the old days.
Yeah, but okay, so I know a gamer when I see one, and he plays one on TV. His name is Wes Moody. He does it on YouTube. What do you think, Wes? Did you ever get into the Uncharted games? Is this a film for you?
I absolutely loved the Uncharted games. Well, I didn't. I think the second one I didn't particularly care for, but the rest of them I really loved. And I was kind of surprised at the casting because I think it was the 4th game where you had a young Nathan Drake, and it had it was part of that story.
Right.
Wait, no, it was the 3rd one. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that thing.
And so oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. You're up there.
Yeah, so the young Nathan Drake, and I think in the 3rd one was not, it was not in the story that much. Actually, Mark Wahlberg, it seemed to me, this is where I get it. This is where I get it. Nerd out like a lot of our other folks when they'll see something and they've read the book or whatever. It's like, that's not what was in the book. Well, I think Mark Wahlberg actually fits more of Nathan Drake than Tom Holland does, except for just that very small scene in the third game when there was a young Drake. So I don't know.
Yeah. I bought almost all the games twice because I got the collection. Like I bought that the collection, and I now admit that was an error. I wasted money. I will say this: Hunch the Dirty Roofer, who pushed me to watching Reacher, thank you for that, my friend. For $5, says the difference with Uncharted to other video game franchises is the genre it's based in comes from old Hollywood and pulp comics of the 30s. Yes, and I think that's why everybody really enjoys it, which is the same world that Lucas's. Indiana Jones comes from, I would say. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
But there is a benefit with the whole dynamic of Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland. Mark Wahlberg has been around the block, done a lot of different kind of roles, right? So in a way, whatever's going on scene, we have to remember whatever is off scene. Those two guys are trying to build a rapport. So Mark can actually influence Tom Holland to actually embrace himself and be more comfortable with himself. And we might see that more if we get a sequel. So I honestly can see more a mentor status with Mark Wahlberg and the Sully format, not just in film, but how it will go on the set. So that's something you should put in the back of your mind as a pretense.
Agreed.
Yeah, and Kathy says something important, says, but culture movies have been so bad for the last half decade that video game movies are looking like gold compared to everything else that's been coming out. But
it's affecting video games now too.
Yeah, it is.
I could see where Kathy was coming from, but I'll say this, and maybe it's just because I don't forget. I try to do what it takes and not forget things, because there are people who are reducing their standards for it not containing the message, and somehow everything gets a pass. I could still recognize, okay, this is a bronze movie, this is a silver movie, this is a gold, or an 8, 9, or 10. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got to remember, like, there were tons of bad movies and good movies before the message became the most prominent upfront thing. So we can't let, just because it's not filled with identity politics, reduce our standards, because then that's just saying that you're settling for something. And the last thing you want to do is settle for things, because then obviously you have a company like Lucasfilm who takes advantage of that with a certain franchise that they use to say, hey, look, remember this, and they emphasize on that. So don't let the message reduce your standards. Like, I enjoyed Sonic when it came out, but I didn't feel like, it was like this incredible movie, but it was a fun, solid flick. It was like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a B+ movie. Yeah. And I think most people were honest about it. It was nice not having the message, which everybody was very thankful for. And you went and actually enjoyed a movie for what it was. I agree with you 100%. And Forbidden Ruin says the smartest thing in the room right now, Doom was really bad.
Really bad. Like, that should have never been a movie. And a lot of these movies, should not every game needs to be a movie. And I'm worried, like, when games come out, are they thinking about movies? Like, because
do you think that they're the 30,000 foot view, that they're searching for the next thing because they've just about played out comic book movies?
We say that now, they're still adding to them.
Well, but they pretty much played them out. I mean, they're going to get diminishing returns.
Yeah,
right. I mean, so they're looking toward video games. They're looking toward fantasy novels because of Game of Thrones. They're trying to search for the next big thing, and I think we're on the cusp of another 80s. I really do.
Action movies. I hope so. I really do. I didn't say hi to Dragon Master 360. Good to see you. I'm glad you could roll in here. We got a lot of the first Hitman was pretty good. I'll agree with that. We've got a lot of comments in the chat about this. William Shatner Ghost wrote. Yeah, I didn't think he wrote them outright, but
no, he didn't. Ron Goulart wrote those.
That's what I thought.
See, everyone's bringing up the message here. The problem is like a lot of us have seen the way other people, whoever brought up in the chat or the panel just now, is that we're seeing this whole thing with the message. But in the way, have we ever asked ourselves, are we actually being trained to only focus on those things, and rather than go back to a simpler mentality where we're looking at a pro and con of the film? Let's you watch through it, you write down the pros and cons while you're watching that film, and see whether or not there is actually a basis of just focusing on the woke and it's already bad, or seeing if there's actually pros and cons that verify the film is bad itself. So do you think we have lost the ability to pull out of the woke eye watch first
That's a very good point.
That
Because if
is
you go back and
So-
watch something you used to like, and you start seeing the message in there. I mean, it can really mess with you. You got to.
A lot of people have lost their objectivity.
Well, it's like I think that's a good. Oh, I think that's a good point you're bringing up, Pat Stephen. And I'll give you an example of a movie that came out recently, and I had it on the Red Pill playlist. Don't Look Up. I thought that was a brilliant movie, but there are other people that might be considered on our side that said it's woke. And I was like, I don't see it. Where are you seeing that?
Yeah.
It's Don't Look Up. It's talking about, in my review of it, it was like it's talking about red pilling. When it's saying don't look up, they're talking about don't look up the information, and it's about propaganda. And I thought that was one of the great red pill. I thought it was the Dr. Strangelove of our time. And people on our side are saying, oh, it's woke. Oh, they're bashing Trump and this. And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. So, yeah, that's a good point you bring up.
See, but that's another thing that's also coming down here. Like when I say politics, politics falls under even identity politics, and we're looking for all this stuff. Like we've had way before this whole thing has been going, let's say from lockdowns or however long, where we're focusing on the woke or not woke and all that crap. We've had strong male female characters before, but the problem is all of that stuff that we've had in history before all this shit's been pushed on us, has it been drowned out because the amount of stuff we've seen over time being the main protagonist? It's not the individual we're looking at anymore. It's the individual status. Oh, they're lesbian. They like cucumbers. They also are very identifiable with being a pet lover. Like there's that's the thing that's going on, is like the character itself is the problem. It's not the woke. It's the character and what they are, not who they are. And that's where I think there's a detachment in general.
They've also forgotten how to do subtlety.
Yeah, well,
subtlety is definitely a major
absolutely, and that's the thing, is they focus too much on the identity of the character and not enough on developing the character. But that's
when was the last time you saw He-Man go, I just banged that rat? Come on, let's make it the pretense of a story. Like that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it's not the way that we do that. But Larry's here. A name so great you have to say it twice. Larry, good to see you.
Oh yes.
The name's so nice you have to say it twice. Let's see, and this is a good point Larry brings up. He says Uncharted games are movies already, and yeah, especially the fourth one. I think the fourth one was rough, but it is what it is. And of course we have our good friend Memes joining us as well. But
let's look at other games. I hate this culture. There's also other good games. Let's look at Heavy Rain, which is a heavy, or what's the other one? The one with the vampires or the Wendigos. In the snow, in the cabin with all the friends. Those are technically movies in itself, but you still have to make your own choices and go throughout it. And I can't remember the other one. I think Until Dawn. Both of those ones you haven't played, to give those a shot. And it feels like a movie within itself, except you're choosing the protagonist's choice and how they end up throughout that game. And there's multiple different endings. So the choose your own adventure kind of style is one thing that people have forgotten too, is also choose your own likes, choose your own dislikes, and not feel bad if anyone else comes at you saying that you are not allowed to like or dislike this. No one gets to dictate that. If anyone comes at you dictating what you like and what you dislike and what your tier of a fan is, my motto is, why the F are you talking to them? That's it.
Yeah. And a lot of people are bringing up the same kind of things. I mean, you have these wonderful these wonderful games that are in this genre here: Indiana Jones, Relic Hunter, Tomb Raider, National Treasures, Uncharted. You're going to have all these things, and they're going to have that pulpy goodness feel, right? That you're going to have, Razor Fist, just going off on how great this all is, and in his very eloquent way in full rage mode. But I just these are the kind of films I'm down for, right? I really did enjoy the National Treasure films. I'm really going to say that I want this to be good, and I think Pale Rider is right. They picked Tom for a reason. They want this thing to go 20 years. Yep. I think they do. Yep. And of course we have Blue-Eyed Roof Korean the Based for $5, again helping to sponsor today's show. Thank you for that, my friend. Lost Legacy came about to use the ton of UC4 unused assets. They were a result of Amy Hennig being forced out by Druckmann, contractually obligated, absolutely. And let me tell you, when they cut loose Amy Hennig, forced her out, whatever terminology you want to use, they really ruined that game studio. They really did.
Can I have one quick thing? Soul Assassin brings up a comment. The Dead Space can make a great horror film. If you haven't watched any of the Dead Space animated films, you should put them on your list and watch them as soon as you can.
Oh my god!
Every one of them is great. I have not been disappointed.
I want mutant space babies. Those things are so scary.
Yeah.
When they're laughing and they're crawling on the ceiling and shit. Oh my god, dude.
I didn't think I could be afraid of a cartoon, but it did make me afraid.
It was like the old Spawn days on HBO.
Yeah.
Remember when Spawn? This is not rated for kids, and you would get Spawn, and you see the piles of blood, bro. Like that's the Dead Space anime films nailed that montage, and I was just like, I love this. Even the Wii game was good, and they did it with I think Dead Space 2, the collector's edition. You actually got the Wii port over on PlayStation, were able to play it. It was great.
Wow.
And this is interesting. Agent Atwood said something that I agree with. The first Mortal Kombat movie was very good compared to what we got in Annihilation. I have to say that because of the practical effects, because Goro was actually like a thing, that was better. I'm sorry, practical effects make a lot of these fantasy things work, and especially from video games. You can't do it otherwise. It doesn't work.
The Annihilation movie did suck, but the soundtrack was a blast. I'm sorry, I got introduced to Rammstein, Scooter, Reactor again. It was great. It was great. The music made up for it, but it did not make the movie great at all.
That's like Wild Wild West. Memorable soundtrack, absolutely garbage movie.
Hot tub in a water tower. Let's still do that after the stream, ladies and gentlemen.
That's I guess that's a guilty pleasure for me then, because I like the Wild Wild West.
Same.
Hey, we can't.
Have
we
you ever
can't
seen
all
the
be
series?
perfect. It's okay. We can't all be perfect.
There's nothing like the series. I don't know. Some people like the Fugitive movie, and I thought it sucked. But you go watch the series, and the series is genius. In fact, Conspiracy Guy Chronicles takes a lot of inspiration from the series.
Yeah. Yeah, and
if we all agreed on everything, life would suck.
Boring. Oh my god. Yeah. Believe me, how many of you have sat?
At least we can disagree. Some people can't.
Yeah, but how many of you have sat and had a conversation with somebody after you just watched a movie at a dinner, or you have this lengthy conversation? You don't agree about the plot points. You don't agree about some of the stuff that's there.
Well, actually, that's a good point.
You don't. You can meet a stranger in a bar. You happen to notice they're wearing a Star Wars shirt, right? That you create a conversation about Star Wars, right? And these are things that we miss now. These kinds of conversations that were just spur of the moment, that kind of thing. I mean, we just miss them. We need them back. Glinzer says something brilliant though, and I have to agree. People see certain names like the cast in Don't Look Up and think same name, same message. Hollywood has pigeonholed themselves to some extent. I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. They are keeping within their bubble. They're gatekeeping at this point. They want the message, but they want to also put the message through stuff that people already like, because they know if they put it into a freshly new product, it won't do as well because they need that established fan base. Without that established fan base to check out those first weekend numbers, then I think there's some movie that actually came out called Woke, I think last year or something like that. And it was like that in like the 55 movies like that, and they don't do well. And that's a good example of what happens when you try to put out an original product that's supposed to be about the message, and it bombs like hell.
You just reminded me of something. And I haven't seen the movie, but I saw like the trailer, and my eyes rolled back in my head so freaking hard. But,
you hurt yourself.
But the Karen movie.
Yeah, Karen. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
I was
I kind of want to see
gotta be effing kidding me.
I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I heard it was terrible, but I sometimes I'll suffer through the terribleness. But Man of War 665 is here. It's great to see you, my friend. Of course, we also just had John Platt roll in here, and Buddy Smith says Neil Druckmann is responsible for getting Amy out of the Last of Us series. 100%, my friend. You are 100% right. And I have a good question from our friend Aiken. Does anybody remember Alan Quartermain and The Lost City of Gold?
Both of them.
Absolutely. Great movies.
King Solomon's Mines and Lost City of Gold.
All the Alan Quartermain stories are awesome.
Yeah. Let's not forget Romance in the Stone, too.
I think that's what inspired Indiana Jones, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The originals, yeah.
Isaiah Matthews says, I kind of wish Will would have taken The Matrix instead of the Wild West, but I still loved both. I think that film Wild West gets a lot of hate for no reason.
Yeah.
But,
it was originally a Superman script. It was originally a Superman script.
Yeah.
It worked.
The Wild
Well, the
Wild
spider,
West,
yeah, the spider. It was,
yeah, the Wild Wild West TV series was excellent. I agree with that too.
Oh yeah,
Gosh, it was
is
so
amazing.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
see,
it's
like
way better.
here's something
Oh,
I've never
Maverick.
understood that I've always had a fight with people about. Okay, I grew up being a kaiju fan. I grew up watching all the Godzilla films and everything else. So I was really excited when Japan announced, "Hey, we're gonna make a brand new Godzilla film." So they come out with Shin Godzilla, and I grab it, I watch it, and I'm like, my friends and I were all sitting around going, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yes, but Japan right now is building a full-size Gundam, so they're doing things right.
Well, but the point is, it's like everybody in the world on the internet came at me like, "Well, you just didn't understand it. It wasn't about. It was a metaphor. It was an allegory for Fukushima and all this shit." And I'm just like, I don't see it, man. All I wanted to go see was kaiju beat the shit out of a city. I didn't get that.
T-shirt. Everything nowadays is when something is badly received. Everything is now you don't understand it. You don't get it. So it's like.
It wasn't made
It's
for you.
not an argument. It's not an argument to say that. You just want your movie that you're emotionally attached to be exempt from fucking criticism.
Exactly.
See, I can agree with Nick Weiser because technically Nick Weiser is a metaphor for pizza.
He is. he's actually, I think he's the living embodiment of pizza.
Oh, he's Pizza the Hut Weiser.
I haven't had pizza in 15 hours.
15 minutes.
That could explain why I've been sitting here staring at him longingly the whole
time. I keep smelling pepperoni, and I didn't know that was possible.
Nick, you did see the controversy I've been generating on my channel about the chicken and waffles pizza, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, you ought to explain to me like through message what went wrong because that's.
Oh, nothing went wrong with it. It's just the insane amount of back and forth opinions on whether or not it's even a right thing or not has gone crazy.
You can't put pineapple on your pizza. Why would you put?
But you can put chicken and waffles on your pizza. Damn it!
Yeah. Okay.
That would be better than pineapple.
I'm gonna read a couple chats real quick, and we're gonna have to move on. This Uncharted conversation was amazing. I loved it. We went a whole hour on it, so thank you guys for that. We have Olaf Fanas recommending I watch Az's review video, which I'll get to. Bruce Lombardo is hanging in the back. I think Bruce. I agree with this 100%. Pale Rider says Gaze needs to get on the ball and get a Sunsworn animated series going. Fix this now. I agree with this wholeheartedly.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah, and I talk to people about Star Wars. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Gaze. We lost.
Oh no, I was just saying I'm on it, just not that on it yet because right now I got to worry about putting out the rest of the novels.
All right, who did we lose?
Shellbach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he probably fell asleep.
Culture, if you want to pop this up real quick for Nick.
You want me to whoop it out?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, there we go. That's something I don't want to hear ever again.
There you go, Nick.
What's wrong with that?
That's a chicken and waffles pizza.
That doesn't look bad, but I wouldn't call that a pizza. I would say that's a really good breakfast snack.
See,
the
problem
it has too many carbs, but it looks delicious.
Yeah, I eat it.
The problem is the crust should be a waffle, and then you put your cheese.
That would be even better.
Drizzle, and then you put the chicken on top. The thing is, this just looks like you're moving your syrup contingent to another side of food at this point.
Kinda.
Yes.
Now,
this is not a bad looking piece of food. It's just not what I call pizza. For me, when I call pizza, it has the very bare minimum ingredients: bread, aka crust, and cheese, and the pizza sauce. If you take out one of those ingredients out of the picture, and this looks like this took out pizza sauce, it's not a pizza.
This took out pizza sauce. There's no tomato.
It doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make what this is on the screen bad, but it's just not a pizza.
There's too much syrup, though.
There's a lot of syrup on that.
There's too much syrup.
I'm fine with the syrup. That's not my issue. It's just not a pizza.
But they sell dessert pizza at pizza places,
Yes, they do.
Oetker has their own chocolate pizza you can pick up and defrost and cook yourself. Yes, I've had that. Don't judge me because it's gone now by me.
I think that would.
But look at his hands.
Maple syrup.
Look at the holder's hands. It's covered in syrup. That's way too much syrup. Like, honestly, it would just drown out all the flavors. If you're trying to do chicken and waffles, then you use chicken and waffle. You either use like a waffle crumble, or you make it the crust, and then you infuse a light maple syrup into the crust, so at least you have like a pull and peel style when you have stuffed crust.
See,
I would definitely go with a fork on that one.
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, exactly. There are some people that eat pizza with a fork and a knife.
Yeah.
This is more of a nonsensical combination. Like, I feel like, you're right. Like, you can make it like nice and fancy, but then this kind of looks more like a stoner came up with the idea because it looks and sounds like it would taste delicious if you were super high.
I think that's
saying.
where taco pizza
I
came
made
from.
a lot of foods high off my ass, and I kept those recipes. So I'm not gonna lie. Being a stoner, you make up some good recipes. So don't judge the stoner cooking.
Well, I just want to say thank you to my latest member, the CJH. Thanks for joining, brother. I appreciate you very much. I can't say thank you enough to all of you out there that are members of the channel. For those of you who are subscribers,
Thank you.
You guys,
welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Don't say it that way, Steven. It sounds dirty.
Hold on.
Thank you for being a member to Culture Casino. My shirt comes off at 10 gay.
At 10 gay?
Ben gay?
Freudian slip.
I said,
think so.
Jay, you guys are all just hoping. You guys got bromances for me. That's what.
I know what I heard.
Mushrooms on the pizza is fine.
Yes, mushrooms on pizza is fine.
Trinoculus P says, "Do not listen to Canadians about pizzas." Okay,
why?
I don't like pineapple, and I'm Canadian, bro. I don't like pineapple on my pizza. It's texture, it's disgusting.
Pineapple does not go on pizza.
Meat lovers with stuffed crust, crushed chilies, and a little bit of anchovies if you like anchovies.
Yeah.
Pineapple is delicious.
No.
What about pear?
Look, I will submission any pizza from pineapple. I don't care.
Have you ever had pizza with pear? I've had that. It's delicious.
Yeah,
I have a question for Fat Steven here. We call Canadian bacon ham. What do you guys call bacon? Do you have bacon?
We call it bacon, and we have back bacon. There's also pea-meal bacon. Depends on the cut. Depends where the meat's coming off of. But we still call bacon, bro. It's still delicious. It still causes love. It's the grease of all worlds.
Okay.
Right.
I think we got topics that culture wants to talk
leaning
about.
over, and he's just like, "I want food."
For some reason, I'm hungry.
I'm so hungry right now. Okay, well, Bruce Lombardo at Dixon.
Now, bacon does belong on everything. Go ahead. Okay, I'm done.
No. I'm just saying, chocolate covered bacon is probably the most. Chocolate covered pepper bacon.
Yeah,
is the best you could ever have in your life.
Bacon crumble cheesecake, bro.
That'll work out too.
Have you had maple bacon donut?
Yes, I have. I've also had the maple donut with the.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I gotta eat.
Hey, culture.
Really here, my friend.
Culture. This is a good time to segue into Starlight flavored Coca-Cola for Nick.
Yeah, we will get there. In fact, if you bring that up, we've got Shellback showing us the most important thing of the day. There's the message of the day. Bruce is going to offer you a discount for Blackout Coffee, so do check out his discount. Reach out to Bruce Lombardo for that. Are you really going to leave us, my friend?
Yeah, I do. I got to take the kid to his Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right. Well, have a great time being a super dad. And
I'm trying. And if you would, I actually made a commercial for one of my stories.
Oh, great!
I directed the teenagers. Nice. It's on the channel. It's like a minute and a half video. So,
all right,
it's really cheesy, and you could tell the kids were nervous, but we did it.
Well, definitely
like pizza. Cheesy.
Yeah, pretty cheesy. It's. I'm gonna do another noir story, and it's kind of a commercial for that.
Well, I absolutely think that you guys should head over to Storyman Jack's channel, check out the commercial. I would love that very much. I think that would be great. Do you have a link for that somewhere, or you want to throw that in the chat?
I'll throw that in the chat.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you're here. I've been missing you, bro. Thanks for coming back and again.
Well, I couldn't say no to engagement cruise, so.
I also have to depart, sadly, because I have someone yelling at me about video games. So I've been over.
Oh, Captain Trek is giving somebody some pineapple pizza for somebody on the panel. Yeah. Ooh, Bruce is giving us more food thoughts. Here we go. Thick cut ends, and
there it is. I just put it in the chat.
Very good. All right, guys. When you get a chance, do check this out. This short trailer that was put together by the great Storyman Jack and family. Do check out his incredible horror stories. Hopefully, he survives this next October so that we get all of the stories.
Well, I've already got some. I've already got like 15 of them written.
All right, good.
I haven't been idle. I just haven't been online.
All right. Well, it's so great. I really do appreciate it. Eric K., my good friend, is dropping the link for Storyman Jack's channel right here. Do check that out, everybody. Yeah. Wow. That's so great. Well, have some fun, Storyman. I'm kind of jealous. I want to go.
I'm going to grab some food while I'm out, though, because you people made me starve.
I'm starving. I'm starving. You're a meatitarian. Jack's, you guys probably don't know this. Jack's primarily a meatitarian. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we call a carnivore?
Yeah.
He's a velociraptor.
There you go. All right. You all have a blessed day. Everybody out in the chat, have a blessed day. And we'll see you next time.
And I got to leave as well. Sorry.
Yeah. Wow. You do too, Steven?
Yeah, literally. I have someone yelling at me in DMs, and I came on here. You know me. I am definitely Fat Steven Seagal.
Yes,
I now have a new channel up called Fat Steven Live, just so I have a backup channel. You can find me on Rumble. All my links is in the private chat. I'll put it in there in a little bit. I want to thank the panel culture for letting me come on. I like for people, honestly, just keep doing what makes you passionate, keeps what makes you happy. And if something overtakes you, cover it. Because if you're getting attached to it, that means it means something to you. Other than that, the wind is pounding on my window like people out of Jenny Craig trying to get out.
Wow.
Other than that, thank you very much. Find me on YouTube. The stuff in Canada ain't over, and I'll try to do my best coverage with an unbiased opinion. Thank you, everyone.
No, we'll appreciate that, and thanks for everything you're doing, Steven. And congratulations, and be safe.
I will. Now I will try to butter myself out of here.
All right.
Now go get you some shitty work.
Y'all don't know my shitty work. GB,
Oh, Pat.
Take your order, please.
Pats.
Yes.
Pats. We miss you. We miss you at Wake and Geek.
Hey,
but we still love you.
I appreciate everyone who's understood why I'm covering this, dude.
We do. We do.
Thank you.
Guys,
don't kill me online on someone else's stream, though. What the hell, man? I'm trying to be a nice guy here. Look at the hell. Just kidding.
Fat Steven. I love you.
Why are you talking to me like I'm a labradoodle?
I love you. Come on, say it back. Say it back, Fat Steven.
Well,
I am, but my middle finger's up while I'm saying it. I love you too.
Okay. We can talk about that later. Okay.
Nick, can you just put your hands up and pet his avatar for me? Because he looks kind of upset.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no proof that.
Up. That's down. Up.
Yeah, you're petting Shellbach right now.
Well, that doesn't look okay.
All
right.
Come on, guys. Have a good one.
Wait a minute.
Fist of fury.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
I had to make it worse. I did it on purpose.
I lost control of my own show, but I know this.
A reporter died having
that I did not get the share for that we were going to talk about. It is a new drink.
Let's roll. Let's see it.
T-shirted.
Well, I guess he's gone.
Hey, so before we get too far away from food, okay, I wanna like give out my own interpretation of a chicken and waffles pizza. Okay. The crust is made with the waffle batter. So basically the crust is going to be the waffle. Okay. And instead of having marinara sauce, you have sausage gravy. And then you put on your chicken and your cheese and, a vegetable or two. And there you go. There is your chicken and waffles pizza.
Interesting.
There he is. All right. Hey, T-shirt, you need to show off a link that Culture Casino requested.
Yeah.
Which one?
You were going to share with
About
us
the drink.
the new beverage. We were
getting
into that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
And then you started to flirt with Fat Steven in a very uncomfortable way.
My apologies.
And I think he was recovering from me fisting him.
That must have been it.
No. This is a family show, Nick. Family show.
Yeah.
We're all family. There you go.
Oh, no. Anyways, let's go.
This is going to be a weird family reunion, though. Let me tell you.
I could not be more uncomfortable if you paid me. Okay, here we go. This is a new beverage that we know Nick will go bananas for.
Me too.
Not sure about the rest of you, but here 'tis.
Hashtag.
Starlight flavored. Supposedly it tastes like raspberry. One of my co-panelists, Vlad Stakem, has actually tried it and says it has a very strong raspberry flavor because apparently there's a meme going around about if you were to lick Starlight, it would taste like raspberry. But there it is.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
There you go.
So that's weird.
Yeah. So
I'm sure whiskey will make it better.
Yeah. Oh, whiskey does make things better, no doubt. Coca-Cola Starlight flavor promises a journey to the cold void of space. Okay. Coca-Cola unveiled a marketing campaign promoting a brand new flavor that promises to take you to a journey in space. The company has released new limited edition drink following other releases such as Coca-Cola Cherry and Coca-Cola Cherry Vanilla. Here's what you need to know about the brand new edition. Coca-Cola Starlight is a new beverage manufactured. It was dubbed as space inspired. A limited edition soda will come in regular and zero sugar. They will be sold as individual 20-ounce bottles and 10 packs of 7.5-ounce mini cans. So they're really maximizing their take on this.
Oh, yeah.
Starlight will be released in stores across the United States from February 21st, which is Monday. Singer-songwriter Ava Max, who rose to fame with her hit Sweet But Psycho, will promote the new soft drink. Interesting. But unlike the cherry and vanilla beverages, which are pretty clear about their flavors, Starlight Soda was pretty mysterious before Coca-Cola cleared the air.
Go on.
The void of space.
Keep going.
Starlight's flavor has been dubbed a space theme that will take you on a journey into the freezing void of space. It has notes reminiscent of stargazing around a campfire, as well as a cooling sensation that evokes the feeling of cold journey in space. One Reddit user guessed that the taste of the beverage as raspberry because a quick Google search says that space tastes like raspberries. Okay. Food magazine Taste of Home, who've tried the soda, have described the aroma as cotton candy and tastes like bubble yum wrapper. Delicious. Are you excited to give Starlight a sip?
Okay, I want to talk about this. So first things first. I don't know if this drink is going to help me be less white, but whatever, that's their prerogative to promote this drink. A. B, it says zero sugar. I'm already like that. That is a killer for me. So you can go ahead and some back, but it's more healthy. I don't care. Sugar up my drink. I want more gluten. I want more sodium. I want more calcium.
Nick,
I want all the added ingredients. I want extra fat. I want full fat. None of this watered down stuff where it's like
it comes in sugar flavor too, Nick. It comes in sugar flavor too. It does.
Okay, fine. I'll be less white for this drink.
There you go.
Fine. There. That's it. Okay, but seriously, this should never be zero sugar. Like, it's just code for saying it tastes like garbage.
Well, when it says zero sugar, that means it's got an artificial flavor, sweetener in it.
I know.
Which is actually designed to make you more thirsty, so you'll buy more of that crap. So, yeah.
It's got regular sugar too, Shellback.
I just want to know if you can clean battery terminals with this. And toilets.
Well, all sodas, you can, Wes, as you know, if you ever have a dead battery and you need to clean your terminals, I think, clearly, this would be the drink for you, I would imagine.
Yeah. There's phosphoric acid in it.
Yeah.
So if you get it on sale, hey, there you go.
It's got regular sugar, but it's also got the zero sugar for, diabetes guys like me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, Diabetes sucks, man. It really does.
Yeah, I prefer to put my kidneys through the ringer, so I'll go through the sugar-free.
There you go. You only got, you have two kidneys. Yeah. You only have one pancreas. So, choose wisely.
Yeah, this is interesting.
If you add whiskey, it goes through the liver.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sander Hammerslag says, did they bring back cocaine in Coca-Cola? I don't think so. But is raspberry like cherry isn't cherry? Huh? I don't know. I can't answer this question.
However, I should note, I actually had this conversation with a friend the other day. I said that, when he was alive, cocaine was obviously not in Coca-Cola. I said, however, your 7-Up still had lithium in it all the way up until, I believe, 1966, 1967.
Really?
Yes. That was the secret ingredient in 7-Up.
Don't you feel good about 7-Up?
Well, I bet you would after you drank a whole bunch of it back in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Is that why 7-Up has like double the caffeine of any other soft drink to make up for the loss of lithium?
Maybe.
That's weird.
Maybe it's to pick you up.
I do know that Rob Altus is asking a question I think all of us would have. How do you taste space?
That's a good question. Like, is it the air of space? Is it the suits? Is it the ship? Like, how do you taste the space?
Well, I think it's weird because when I think about it, I think it might taste like raspberry too. But there's like a weird psychological thing, right? Like if you think of any object in your head, you can imagine what it would taste like, what it would feel like if you were licking it. Like, and it's a weird thing to say, but like because of your life experience of touching textures and tasting different food items and everything, like your brain will be able to kind of like estimate what it would be like if you did that. And so maybe that's like, scientifically speaking, they talk to enough people where they're like, when I think of space, I think of raspberry.
Yeah, on a more philosophical level, yes. I can actually answer what it tastes like to lick space, and you won't like it. Because every single atom, every atom in your body is made of stardust. They came from stars that exploded. Therefore, when we all die and return to dust, we will become stars eventually. So just lick your friend, and you will be able to taste space.
Monkey Judas says, so is Nick Weiser going to come in space berries now? It could be one of the flavors. We'll see.
In space, nobody can hear you drink.
That's true.
Yeah, who is drinking cola other than and other crap? Sugar is the main reason for people being dumb. Look at all those walking fat corpses in the Western world. Chris de Bliss, you are speaking the truth.
Ouch. That hurts.
So, according to T-shirt, I have to lick one of my friends to taste space.
Yeah.
And right now, the two closest ones to me are Wes or AFK. So, who's gonna let me lick you so I can taste space? No. What?
No.
I think that could also be a self project, a solo mission.
Yeah, you can lick yourself.
That flavor.
Fist you. Yeah.
Space is flavored by space beavers. Did not know that.
Well, I want to know who's the first person who wants to go up there and double check to see if it tastes like raspberry.
If you open the portal and stick your tongue out, I bet you that will be a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, pretty
I feel
sure.
like that astronaut lady that went to go stalk her ex and ended up like using like a catheter and stuff to drive across the country. Maybe we should ask her.
Yeah,
Astro diapers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it tastes like space beavers, then I'm good.
I was good before we even started talking about the soda weirdness. But Blue Eyed Roof Korean, the base based for $2. Another sponsorship for the studio here. In space, no one can taste or lick. I thought nobody could hear you scream either, but I don't know. Real Wade, what's up, man? Says, hey, Culture, I'm just getting better from food poisoning or stomach flu. Wow. Okay. This was not the stream, the part of the stream to listen to, my friend, but I am glad that you are feeling better. Because, wow. Yeah. Glinzer's like, someone heard the Hendrix line, excuse me, while I kiss the sky. And came up with Starlight flavor. They did. Do they get people with synesthesia to come up with this flavor? Quite possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
Thanos Felicitas. Is it like Soylent Green? Tastes different from person to person. Oh, Soylent Green is people. Anyway, yeah, lick your space station. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's no moon.
That's not a moon.
Kathy comes up with a good one. Didn't Tony Stark taste space? Yeah. Doesn't taste great. Unsub for Space Beaver, says Mike likes tacos. It wasn't me. I didn't said it. It wasn't me.
What?
And Ape Cat. All right. Well, okay. So we got through everything. Wow. You guys, so any other final thoughts on the weird soda flavor?
9/11 was an inside job. Oh, sorry.
I can't wait to see how they top
Tourette's
it next.
syndrome.
You always go ahead.
No, this is not going to be the peak of this. They're going to try to like out weird this. I mean, if you go like some like the weird, like more obscure candy shops, they already have like weird things that have like pickle soda and bacon soda. So right now we have seen nothing with them tasting like space. Soon as Rag want to taste your rug, want to taste your Febreze, like it's going to get weird. And though I don't know, like I have to draw a line somewhere unless like I'm in a bet to like win money. So maybe I might reconsider. But other than that, bro, we're gonna see some weird stuff, and it's just like, how much are they gonna push us? So we're like, okay, enough is enough.
Well, lick your dog; it will appreciate you and lick you back.
But we've had a lot of infused things recently. I mean, there's bacon infused vodka. Right?
Yes,
I mean, there's Skittles flavors, vodka, and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is. But Darius is correct. Space shuttles taste like reentry. And Eric King finally got a notification for my stream. I am live, I think. You're going to bail on the taco stand and go see CultureCasino. Well, thanks for being here, Eric K. Yeah, we are an hour and change in. And just so you know, Wes, 7-Eleven is an inside job. You keep getting it wrong.
It is. It's the green meat. You know, if you see green hamburger meat, run.
Look, I've got another thing.
And also, you did the nachos, the black things in the nachos. Not all of us. Just saying.
What? All right. Look, we're going to talk something about this. Have you guys noticed? Because this will be like the fourth time in the last year we've talked about Bill Maher. He went on last night and blew up everything again, and he attacked John Cena, LeBron James, Tom Cruise, Eileen Gu for siding with China. Now, of course, this is going to make my stream unpopular with the YouTube folks, but this is a news story. It's worth covering. So if you get a chance, you can watch this either on YouTube, which this is actually on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it here through the Deadline article. But Maher couldn't hide his contempt for the country hosting the Winter Olympics on his Friday real time. Maher called out freestyle skier Eileen Gu, an American-born skier who chose to participate on China's Olympic team for the Beijing Games. Gu hasn't said whether she gave up her American citizenship to do so, but plans to return to Stanford University and has reaped millions of dollars in product endorsements in China. So I wonder what her motivation was. She chose to represent a totalitarian police state over America, Maher said, calling China an authoritarian surveillance state. Acknowledging that the United States has its problems, Maher noted that at least the U.S. is a democracy based on freedom. China has jailed an entire ethnic minority and said it was a cynical dodge to overlook China's sins in its treatment of Hong Kong freedom and its desire for a Taiwan take back. Maher recalled the outrage when NBA general manager Daryl Morey said that he stood with the people of Hong Kong. There was an uncomfortable statement of regret from the NBA because obviously, China means a lot of money to them, with LeBron James calling for Morey's re-education. After all, Maher noted, James likely thought, I got some shoes to sell. Kowtow is a Chinese word, but America has gotten good at it, Maher said, and China will allow access to its vast markets only if you shut up about its problems. He noted how Google backed off from its do no evil motto to permit China to dictate terms on its operation in that country. Okay, maybe a little evil. John Cena was even worse in Maher's eyes. John learned he needed some re-education like the Uyghurs, Maher said. China referred to Taiwan as a country, an unforgivable sin in China's eyes, which feels it is a renegade province. Cena subsequently issued a groveling video apologizing, and I thought steroids had shrunk your balls, Maher said.
No.
He also pointed out the recent decision to remove certain flags from the Tom Cruise jacket in Top Gun Maverick promo. Cruise used to be a Maverick. Now he does as China says, Mar said. Mar asked, is it racist to question Chinese actions and motives? The fear of being accused of racism is giving a pass to China, he contended. We have to find out where we got this rule. We can't criticize China, Mar concluded. I suspect we got it from China because, after all, it's where we get everything else.
Wow. This is unusually based of him to be speaking this type of truth.
Quite saucy.
Not only that, he had a former San Francisco assistant district attorney, Brooke Jenkins, on the show, one of nearly 60 prosecutors who have resigned in the city over district attorney Chessie Boudin's outrageously hands-off approach to crime. Shoplifting is no longer a crime in the city, Jenkins acknowledged, a free-for-all that's led to increased lawlessness throughout San Francisco. So he had a lot of people there. Of course, their discussion also covered attempts to take down Abraham Lincoln's reputation and how the Democratic Party is in trouble with rural voters and whether or not anything should be done with the Russia-Ukraine conflict. It sounds like that show was gangbusters. Now, you can think what you want about Mar. You know, you can think he's a comedian. You can think he's not a comedian. In my estimation, again, I'm gonna set you guys loose on this, but in my estimation, he's awake too. So we've seen him wake up. We've seen Russell Brand wake up and bring people with him. We've seen a lot of this happening. Is that a good sign? Is it too late? What do you guys think? I'm curious.
All right. Oh, that's a good question, Culture. So, okay. So Mars' statement is very holy and trading because we have seen where he comes from, especially if you know who Mars is and his political background. But I mean, the first step towards when I started, I guess maybe thinking, okay, maybe this guy isn't so bad, is when he said that, no, we need free speech even for guys like Alex Jones. And I'm like, wow, I actually agree with him in that comment. But now he's going full on and saying stuff like this, which does need to be acknowledged. I don't think that it's too late. That's just personally. Now, do I feel like we're in an uphill battle still? Yes, we absolutely are. Now, I agree with about 90% of what he says, just because like there's a lot of stuff to back the claims at. Now, as far as the Tom Cruise movie, I don't know if that was a Tom Cruise decision or a Paramount decision. Now, if it's Tom Cruise, well then no. Well, then Tom Cruise has lost some credibility in my eyes. But that's a Paramount decision. No, obviously, movie studio at the end of the day makes the final decision. But if that all said, though, even if you take out that one small little niche of the equation, he is 100% dead on with all this stuff. And the fact that we got guys like LeBron James who want to pretend like China has no issues going on and wants everyone to shut up, but yet he wants to be the one who's in control of how everything is operating in the NBA. He wants no one to God, I just lost my train of thought here with LeBron. He wants everyone to abide by his bidding, really, to sum it up. LeBron is psycho, and it's sad that it took this long for people to need celebrities to validate their any skepticisms they have. But you know what? Hey, better late than never, because it could get too late, and then we could be truly doomed, and we would be in the position that certain countries up north and beyond. So hopefully we can turn this around. So I do believe we can. It's just a matter of when.
Well, Bass says a little too late at this point. It sounds like you're still on the fence. I know Wes is going to have an opinion.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I mean, I liked Bill Maher when he was on Politically Incorrect. He claimed to be a libertarian at that time, which, you know, he changed later. Yeah, he got screwed on that show, Politically Incorrect. He said something that actually was remotely common sense having about, I mean, if you believe the official story anyway, about the hijackers being brave, and he got kicked off, and then he did Real Time. And you know, Bill Maher, I guess, was kind of a guilty pleasure for me for a long time, because he was a lefty, but some of his takes I agreed with, and it's good to see him kind of going back more to the politically incorrect Bill Maher.
Yep.
And you know, I applaud him for I applaud anyone who sees the light and sees things as they really are, and becomes a truth teller. I mean, we hear this debate all the time, with the lefties. No, I can never forgive them, or yes, welcome to the party, pal. I fall more into the welcome to the party, pal camp.
Yeah.
I think that, you lead from in front, you lead by example. Yeah. And, there's a saying that everybody wakes up eventually. Some people wake up, 4 a.m. Some people wake up at noon. Some people wake up 2 minutes to midnight. The earlier the better. But if you're waking up 2 minutes to midnight, welcome.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty good take. And I'm afraid of this too. He's gonna continue to vote the way he did, and put again, if you're awake and you still vote for the same stuff you were voting for, it's on you. I mean, and if you can't identify, somebody who is, a wolf in sheep's clothing, which we've seen a lot of politicians be, then that's also a problem for all of us. Who else is a strong?
Well, then are you awake?
Well, I'm very upset.
Yeah, I guess you're not, Nick. Go ahead, Wes.
Oh, I was gonna make a quip. I was gonna, timing's everything, but I was gonna say I'm really upset at my dead grandmother for voting for Biden, and
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and when I busted out the Ouija board, she said, "Why did I vote for Biden?" I don't know. It's very strange.
Well, I do know this. I know that Gaze is somebody who can sum things up pretty succinctly.
Well, actually, I was going to say, I think Wes kind of nailed it. He's got pretty much the same point of view as I do, because I used to watch Mar from time to time. Politically incorrect days were cool. I enjoyed it. Even some of the real time, like I watched for a while, but he lost me after a bit, because I think he kind of got, I don't know if it was the paycheck or the parties or what. It seemed that he went full tilt left for a very long time. And again, who knows? Is it the paycheck that's that's being threatened? Is it a contract up? I don't know, but whatever it is, he seems to be telling the truth. So
yeah. Well, and at a certain point, you get to the IDGAF, right? And he's actually got a comedy special coming up here in the spring. So he's actually sold a comedy special on top of this all. It's going to air on HBO also. So we'll have to see. But, Soul Assassin's right. LeBron's been a real problem for the NBA, essentially dictating what it does. And that's been terrible. It's destroyed their entire, professional league. And it's put everybody in a bad position. And that's bad. And of course, I agree with Soul Assassin here as well. I think if me, Nick Weiser, Man of Wars, 665, many of us are kind of, metalheads. I know Wes is as well. And, we seem to have and I know Gaze is, but we seem to have this whole, different approach to things. And I really like the idea of, lead or get out of the way that Wes is talking about. But I don't know if T-shirt has a thought on this or not.
I don't really follow the NBA so much, but Bill Maher, he's kind of been a polarizing figure. There was a time I followed him pretty closely. Then he made some shitty remarks about Marvel Comics and comic book readers, and I kind of started tuning him out as irrelevant. But he's starting to rebuild some of his credibility with me by things like this, and of course the statements he said about Alex Jones and stuff. So good on him, I guess.
Yeah, and I know we have a veteran here. So Shellbach, you have any thoughts on Mars, new direction?
Well, I'm kind of like Wes. Welcome to the party. I didn't really think much of him in the recent past, especially, from say 2015 to 2020. But yeah, I don't know. It's good to see him calling stuff out, and maybe this will help him get over his TDS as well. But who knows?
Well, again, I mean, you still can disagree with a leader of whatever, but it's the policies of the entirety that seems to be the issue. And I think a lot of people are waking up to that. They had a problem with one person. They didn't have a problem with the ideas that were being supported by that person. right? And hence, you know, the no more mean tweets meme was born. And
Right.
so, you know, and I think you're right there, though. I think you're right. And
But they had a problem. They had a problem with that one person because they were told to have a problem with that one person. That one person did not have a fair shake from day one. But now quite possibly you know, that buyer's remorse has set in over the last
year.
What?
Year.
Well, it's
Year
not
plus.
even been a year yet, but
it has 13 months exact.
Yeah, 13 months now.
Anyway, my butt's been wiped. Only took you know, official control like at the beginning of the year, though. So
it's true. It's
on, man.
January 17th. But look, AFK, I don't usually don't weigh in on stuff like this, but are you a Mar fan? Do you not want to talk about it? I don't care. I just didn't know.
Honestly, I think we all need. I think everybody kind of needs to look at it like, you know how we're all prefacing things like, oh, they're my friend, but it's not like I agree with everything. Like, we shouldn't really even have to do that in the first place.
Right.
So it's like, you know, sure, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that, you know, he says, but when he says something smart, you know, like, you know, I appreciate it. And I think a lot of people need to see that too, because I've witnessed people, you know, who are like, oh, well, you know, because he's this, and this, I don't care. I don't like it. And it's like, well, you know, I think what he said is important, and like him or not like him, you know, I think more people need to say that. And if more people who we don't like start saying that, I think we should applaud them too.
Yeah, like Wes said, I think we're all on the same page. You know, if we start to see people arrive at, you know, the point of being awake about what's happening around them, and you know, again, I mean, there were some examples in Canada. You know, one of the MPs was bringing up something that, you know, was involved in a forum, and they got shut down immediately because it's terrifying to them to be for people to recognize that maybe there's a forum involved in a lot of the decision making processes in that country and elsewhere. Again, we'll have to see. Time will tell. But I have one last thing I wanted to get through real quick before we wrap up and before I lose all of you. Thank you for being here longer than normal. We only usually do about 90 minutes. But today I have a story that, you know, ties right into what we were doing with Mar.
All right. Let's see it.
It is, well, it's this. The once savvy deal makers at NBC, their Olympics deal is shakier after Beijing. I think they've realized and recognized that the games have been so polluted now, it's not really worth the amount of money they paid.
No pun intended with the giant nuclear stack in the background of the pictures.
No, not at all. No. Yeah, and here it says this. It says there were many reasons to think NBC made a savvy business deal in 2014 when they locked up the American media rights for the Olympics through 2032 for $7.75 billion. As the Beijing Winter Games come to a close, which they did, finally, good gracious, and thank goodness, these Olympics were a disaster for the network, a buzz-free, hermetically sealed event in an authoritarian country, a half a day's time zone away, where the enduring images will be emotional meltdown of Russian teenagers after a drug-tainted figure skating competition and bereft Michaela Schifrin sitting on a ski slope wondering what went wrong. Many American athletes underperformed, and arguably the most successful freestyle skier, Eileen Gu, competed for China. Viewers stayed away in alarming numbers, and NBC has to wonder whether it was extraordinarily bad luck or if the brand of a once unifying event for tens of millions of people is permanently tainted. Given the investment, they've got to be disappointed right now. Andrew Billings, director of sports communications program for University of Alabama. Network executives say there are no plans to try and adjust or escape from the rights deal. Several experts say that would be unlikely given how live sports are increasing in value and represent one of the few ways advertisers can gather large audiences to sell automobiles or beer. NBC Olympics president Gary Zenkel talks optimistically about the future games in Paris, Italy, and Los Angeles. We'll have to see. Beijing, of course, like Tokyo last year, took place in an environment where the primary objective was to prevent the spread of the thing. That meant no fans, athletes, families in the stands, no quirky stories about the host country, or even a few announcers. Most of the NBC team worked from the office building in suburban Connecticut. Certainly one of the great supporting actors in every Olympics is the host city. It's the culture, the people, even the sponsor activations. People are from all over the world come together, and that is not in Beijing, and there's no way for us to try to translate something like that. So there you go. So let's see. On Tuesday through Tuesday, the average of 12.2 million people watch the Olympics in prime time. That's very low. Or on this our cable or the streaming service, it was down 42% from the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea. The average NBC alone was 10 million, a 47% drop, Nielsen said. That's even the average inflated by airing directly after the Super Bowl, the night that it brought in 24 million viewers. So that was the only real bump they had. Man, this thing was garbage. So I can read on and on and on, but it doesn't change anything.
Mm-hmm. No, and they will not learn from this, and if they ever do, it'll be at the point where the damage is too late. Because, like we have known historically, leftists, authoritarians, SJWs, whichever subgroup you want to call them, or I'll bunch them all together, whichever way you want to put it, they always double down, and then when things eventually die, then they're like, why did that happen? Like it's the reverse of success. They don't learn from their mistakes rather than say we need to actually unify people, which I remember a time when these events would unify people where they cannot talk about what was going on in the world for 5 minutes. But obviously you had a certain demographic that wanted absolutely nothing off limits as far as talking about politics and leading with politics. I mean, if you look at every cultural aspect that the left has taken over, there's not one institution, major institution at least, where like, oh, that's off limits. They went for everything, and they're the type of people who will always make every single thing they can a political argument. Like soon, I mean, we're so close to debating political sides soon on freaking weird things like toothpicks and toothpaste, and we shouldn't have to get there, but boy, are we getting close.
Well, I mean,
we already had straws.
They promote a lot of whiteness with toothpaste. I'm just saying. That's
now you just gave them the idea.
I know. I want to say this about like a lot of the chat that we have in there. The Olympics were a joke this year, says Rob. I agree with you. Eric K watched the Zero Olympics, and I'm a Winter Olympics person. Me too, and I watched Zero. You have a lot of people. Rough Girl just showed up, but you have a lot of people pointing out like this is the Olympics were designed to bring everybody together in peace, right? And you can't. This is brilliant from Pope Metallicus. You can't claim to promote world peace and give the host position to the most evil civilization in human history. Well, I wouldn't say they are the most, but they're up there. They're pretty high.
They're up there, pretty high.
Yeah, we don't have the metrics yet to discern that.
We need a little longer on the timeline, but
you can't.
I'd put the WEF folks in the worse category than China. It's very close.
Here's the thing: you can't say, "Oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the half pipe competition right next door to the Uyghur concentration camp."
Yeah, and the ski jump.
Sure, you can. You just thank them in the credits.
And the ski slope next to the nuclear power generation station. It was fantastic.
You let them light the flame. Okay, you let them light the flame in the opening ceremony, and then you send them back to the camp.
Yeah,
we don't call them campers. Okay, they're supposed to be unpaid workers.
Oh. Unpaid involuntary workers.
Yes, unpaid involuntary workers.
There you go.
Interns. Yes.
Yeah, interns. Yeah, kind of like I have Mad Mardigan. But I like you said. Here Trinoculus P. And the moral of the story is don't hold the Olympics in a genocidal totalitarian country. And somebody in the chat said something brilliant. It was Soul Assassin. We'll get to in a second. But TZ Canadian sent a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, my friend. According to devdiscourse.com, the FBI is launching a unit for blockchain analysis and virtual asset seizure. This is an Indian news site. I believe you. I believe you. In fact, the best news you're going to get right now doesn't generate from this country. It comes from outside the U.S. So if you're trying to research what's happening on something and you're hearing one side of something, you can definitely find the actual news elsewhere, just not here. For some strange reason. This is the thing I wanted to highlight. The Olympic Games should stay in Greece, where it started. Every country has hosted them, build stadiums that become ruins afterward. Yes, they're referred to as white elephants. And there have been a lot of news programs over the years that have illustrated them, including most recently, if you think about all the money they spent in Brazil to have the games there, those stadiums are all white elephants, and they do become ruins. That's very true. So,
I realized, Culture, about all this is, we have talked about this on Yelling and a little bit on here. We always kind of wonder how many people are actually like awakened from this whole general craziness in the world. I think seeing the numbers of the Olympics shows you maybe there are more people who realize what's going on than we realize, and that is kind of hopeful. Just saying. I feel like maybe if there that many people are tuning out, that's good. That means someone out more than 5 people are paying attention, because for the longest time it's felt like, only people who have super tunnel vision to stuff are paying attention. So this seems like a good sign. Maybe I'm overly optimistic about it, but that's just the perspective of what I'm getting.
I agree to the fact that I think that, just like how everybody's measuring, like, oh, who really likes things based off Twitter and stuff. Like, I think that normies still remember being taught to not like China. Like, I mean, like, generally speaking, you go up and ask somebody about it and you'll be like, oh, that's a communist country, blah, 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 but so it's like, I think from their point of view, they're probably like, why is this being held there? So I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much faith in people, but
not though, because again, it's the same thing. I mean, they appeal on every single thing that they try to appeal to. They're only appealing to this myopic little sliver of things. They aren't trying to appeal to the broad audiences anymore. And then they call you bad names because you're not consuming their sliver of content.
It's the equivalent of buying a bowling ball for your loved one when you know that they don't want it and being like, why don't you want the bowling ball? Well, I guess I'll just use it instead.
Yeah. And TZ Canadian says, for another $2, thank you, my friend. The left can't meme. We have the cannons. Well, I wouldn't. Look, it's not even that anymore. And I'm not going to say again, because I still think I feel like I'm still center left. I still feel like that. I think it's the extreme on certain things can't meme because they can't find humor, and that's sad, and that's where we are. We have a new member too. We have Wolverine Schnicht is here. Thank you for that, my friend. Thanks for joining the rewards club. I do appreciate that. Wow, 2 members this stream. Thanks, guys. We're doing good. Olympics oppression sponsored by Justin Trudeau. I don't know. Anyway, any final words on the Olympics or any of these other things that we've covered today? Because I do want to wrap it up. I know we've got about 8 minutes, so we need to see what we do there.
Dude,
no one. I have no final words.
I don't really. I'm just, once again, I just hope that we're onto something. I really hope so. I mean, I'm not one to black pill. Like, it takes a lot for me to be black pill. Obviously, when there's evidence in my face, I will confront it. But the Olympics it's a big deal program. Normies watch the Olympics. So if normies are tuning out, you gotta always look at it from the normie lens, not just the people who are deep into a specific thing, whether it's fantasy medium or obviously in this case sports. Like, normies tuning out is good because they're the people who we need their attention the most. We really do. They're the first and biggest priority as far as getting attention, because we can all bicker on here on YouTube all day. When the normies are listening, that is awesome. So I just, maybe you can say that I'm nitpicking for a small victory, but I truly believe this is a small victory. And if the Olympics has to crash and burn by way of this happening in order for it to hopefully come back and rise back up, I'd say this is worth it, because some of these things are going to have to crash and burn in order for us to have a turnaround, because nothing's going to be left unscathed.
Right. And I guess, TZ Canadians, right? The Vancouver Olympic venues are all in great shape. Absolutely. You guys keep them up. You have the opportunity to host another games, but in some of these other poorer countries, it ends up being a one and done for them. When they develop these white elephants, you can, like I said, there are many documentaries on this, many news programs kind of dove into it. I'm in favor. I don't know about you guys, but I would think you could put you could put a permanent Olympic venue in Canada. I think Vancouver's a great choice for Winter Olympics, and I think Greece is a perfect choice for Summer Olympics. And then all these countries aren't spending stupid amounts of money to host events that, maybe nobody's interested in, and maybe nobody will be interested in the future. It's hard to say.
Maybe the radioactivity from the nuclear silos will have like Super Olympics after this.
Man, but I know that Lonnie Holcomb is like, why are we talking about the Olympics for $2? Thank you for the $2. And really, we're just talking about the ratings, the diminishment and the kind of a little bit of Schadenfreude because of how much NBC paid for the rights. I think they overpaid. Well,
unlike some things.
Yeah.
Sorry, Coach.
No, it's okay, my friend. TZ Canadian for $5. A shout out to Blue Eyed Roof Korean, official sponsor of the CC Sunday Review. Absolutely. And you're not doing bad yourself there, TZ Canadian. Thank you for that. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the support. The Aiken's like Beijing Olympic site is a dump. It is. In fact, they're about you're going to see a financial collapse in China led by the real estate market. It's already begun. Nobody's been talking about it. They have to deliver 600,000 apartments. Just one company has to deliver 600,000 apartments that have already been paid for, and they're in no position to do it. If you've ever been into some of those cities, and who's the channel that I used to follow? The bikers, the guys that used to bike through China. They don't do it anymore. They got kind of kicked out, but they used to take their motorcycles and they would ride through China, and they would show you the empty buildings, empty neighborhoods, empty streets in these developments that nobody lives. They're just built for no reason. Nobody lives there. It's insane.
Well, unlike some things that come out of China, the Olympics were not widespread globally.
Yeah, and Sandra, yes, they don't have the money. They're dead broke. I'm saying if you left the Olympics in Greece and you just had the venues that are there or develop new venues, they wouldn't have to spend any more money. They would host an event every 4 years that would bring a lot of revenue to their country. I think that would be something they could do. Yeah, 200 trillion in debt and counting. Yes, Sandra, you guys are right on fire today. Woo! Spain definitely is the same problem. Yeah, there's a lot of those. TZ Canadians part of the problem. Yeah. I understand. Beyond that, I think we're done. ADV. Thank you for that, Mr. Dragon. ADV podcast. Yeah, they were one of my better follows. Very, very good. Yeah, the ghost cities are falling down too. They are. Okay, so when they were building the new Shanghai Disney park, right? Yeah. When they were building that park for Disney, they built some dormitories there. The buildings were literally eventually leaning on each other, holding the building up. They were like,
whoa,
not supposed to happen. So lots of it's just bad. It's just bad. And Disney actually had to have them rebuild some things in the theme park to their standard because it wasn't. And that would have been a catastrophe for Disney if there was, something that happened to one of those attractions or whatever. But anyway, I'm sorry, Wes, go ahead.
So China has this very odd cultural phenomenon called face. And basically that means if somebody's lying to you and you know they're lying, you're not supposed to call them out on the lies because it's very strange. And right. So there's this mass psychosis. Well, not mass formation psychosis, but there's this weird cultural phenomenon with that where people will lie to one another and they'll just accept, they'll know that they're lying, but they'll just go about their business. And so that culminates in things like cheating and using faulty materials. It's very odd. And I don't fully understand the concept, but for whatever reason, our wealthy elites seem to think that's the way to go.
And we've been seeing a lot of that in various industries of late. But Aiken points out another thing here, and I wanted to get this before we go. Chinese investors have driven Australian real estate through the roof, making ownership unattainable for young people. And they've been doing it here too, kind of through intermediaries. We've got I have no idea where the next Winter Games is, but that's a good guess. We've got Aiken becoming a member. Thank you for that. We've got a third member today. Thank you, Aiken, for becoming a Rewards Club member. I appreciate that. With that being said, guys, we do have to wrap it up. We've got lots of things to promote. We've got the new Bonds book that is out there. You can see Red Gaze through the link in the chat. Thank you for that, my friend. I do appreciate that. In fact, let's start with Gaze. Gaze, do your thing.
What's up? Red Gaze on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't checked out Sunstorm Wings of Vengeance, that's still on Indiegogo right now. But the reason for the season, as of yesterday, is Bonds to the Cursed Child. Will be coming out this year in a couple months, probably around June-ish, maybe May. But the link for the mailing list is right there, so sign up for that. If you got the first one, I know you enjoyed it because it was awesome. The second one's going to be even better. Miriam is working very hard on that, so yeah, that's all I got for today. I just really want people to sign up for that mailing list to get some updates and know when it's coming. And yeah, Bloodbound Books got a lot coming this year.
Oh, I'm stoked. And you know me, I was on the mailing list stream. I signed up before we even got started. So
I know, man. We appreciate you.
I love promoting your books and of course, Miriam's books. I love what you guys are doing over there at Blood Bond. You guys are amazing. So
thank you very much.
Yeah, and then of course, my very good friend, one of the original panelists here from the way back days, from the very beginning of this show, from its germination, we have Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here on the Sunday Culture Review with this amazing panel, and of course, the best chat on YouTube. And so I do have a channel, YouTube. I have 3 channels. Actually, I have 4 channels. But I'll only plug the one that relates to this. YouTube.com/Wes Moody Webcast. Talk about current events, pop culture, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, gaming streams, and I vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it's my webcast. You can find the playlists all very logically laid out, shows the schedules, and I have a collabs tab, which includes this show and any other appearance on any other channels that I have, unless I've gotten a strike that week, in which case YouTube says you can't do that. 9 strikes so far. I'm working on getting this last one off, but you just can't take no for an answer. It's like the DMV or any government office. You have to keep calling until you get the person that gives you the answer you want. And so we're on my 3rd attempt at overturning my 9th strike. And I'm fairly certain that at some point we'll get there. The white hat will come in and I'll look in the dashboard and it'll just be gone. That's usually what happens. But anyway, so that too long of a spiel. I would appreciate your subscription. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Wes. You nailed it. Your elevator speech is always wonderful. Of course, we have our military veteran here, the man that we all appreciate, his service and, every once in a while, his bald dome. Shellbuck.
Well, first, I'd like to say that I support the gays and the gays agenda. Hey.
Thank you.
And, of course, Wes is like really awesome, as well as everyone here on this panel. But you can find moi on the YouTubes and the Twitters under the name here on the screen, Shellback TJC. And I'm hoping, knock on wood, that tomorrow will be there will be an episode, I guess you could say a debut episode of I guess it's gonna be like a like a yelling at parked cars warm up, or for like, I don't know, I don't really have a title for it, but I have to get have a little bit more correspondence with Mr. Comics Division, but it's very possible that I will be talking to him tomorrow evening, about an hour or 2 before yelling at parked cars on his channel.
That'll be great.
And, if that works out, I'd like to talk about like the the whole Canadian trucker thing, and I've wanted to talk about the late great Ivan Reitman last week, but it just didn't pan out. But yeah, That's what I'm hoping will happen tomorrow.
I'm just
And
glad
with that.
Yeah, I'm just glad you're gonna get that fired up. Of course, we got one more super chat from Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast, for $6.65. Says fixed income dono and slow it the hell down. This isn't a speedway, you god danged kids. There you go. Thanks for that, my friend. I appreciate every super chat. It does help. It is the means to an end for me to relocate to Florida and build lovely facilities that I can share so we can make some more great independent content. So thank you for that. And it's great to see you, Man of War 665. I have been missing you. Of course, we also have another OG from the way back days from, again, the germination of said stream, AFK Bard.
Yo. I don't have anything to pimp like usual. Just I'm here to hang, and thanks for letting me be here.
I'm glad you're here. I appreciate every time you can join us. You are amazing. So thank you. And do check out AFK Bard's channel. It does have some really great things on it. Don't let anybody fool you, including AFK Bard. There is material there to consume. So do check that out.
Great stuff.
We have one of our special guests today, the man with the t-shirt. He's a historian. He does games, and he's funny. You should check out his stuff. Check him out. Help him grow. He is slowly growing. He needs more support. So check out T-Shirted Historian, who's also going to promote a friend. Go ahead, T-Shirt.
Hey, thank you, Culture. And hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. It's your T-Shirted Historian. You can catch me on my channel at 4 p.m. on Saturdays. But right now, I'm not really so much about me. I want to push my friend... Jermaine Johnson. His roof is caving in, and he desperately needs our help. He cannot make all these payments because the costs of it are just through the roof, literally. So if you'll consider checking out his GoFundMe and either spreading the word if you're short on cash, like we all probably are, or if you got a few dollars you can throw his way, I know he'd appreciate it very, very much. This is a fellow YouTuber. It's a friend. It's a really good guy in the community. Definitely consider helping him out if you are able to.
Thank you for that, T-Shirt. You are a selfless human. Do check out T-Shirt and do pop in on the Animane campaign. I put the link in twice in the chat. And of course, last but not least, the other special guest of the day, the man with an infinite amount of hunger for lots of food. What's up, Mayor?
Culture Casino. This was fun to be on here. Thank you for letting me come back. I missed the Culture Review, and hopefully I'll be back on here sooner than later. So I give you my extensive thank yous. Awesome. Very appreciated. To the chat, you are awesome. And nice to meet a few unfamiliar faces in the chat, as well as the usual suspects. I have a channel, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. This Tuesday night we'll be doing Toxic Tuesday. We'll be talking Major League. That's going to be awesome. And I've got a few Macho Man style rants that are going to be coming out too for comedic purposes. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. And I'm 140 subs away from getting monetized because I'm beyond qualified on ours, like over qualified. So sub to me so I can get that monetization. And have a great day, everyone. Thank you for listening to us and surviving us.
Right. And thank you, Nick. And thank all of you for being here. We wouldn't be here without you. The 54 of you that are left in the chat, I want to say this. Thank you to all of you that have watched today, everybody who's come through in live or you're watching on the replay. Thank you. Thank you for supporting these amazing channels here on my channel. And thank you to my wrenches, my moderators. They're incredible. I have to show them the amount of love that they deserve. And it's infinite because they really do help keep the stream moving. They keep the conversation going, and they keep the bots fleeing from the chat very quickly. So I appreciate that. And with that being said, we have a lot to be thankful for. So take the time to do that every once in a while. Your daily meditation should include some great thank yous to the things that you have in your life. And hopefully you consider us one of those good things. With that being said, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it is good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Bye-bye.
Get your booster.
You're wrong.
And do float over to Bruce Lombardo's channel to check out the paint stream and chill. A lot of fun. So hit the bell at the end, guys. It's going to be great. Have a good one, everybody.
I've had 60 ounces of coffee, and I think I'm going to have a Red Bull after this.
You should. Make it a big one.
Yeah, 32 ouncer, baby.
It gives you wings.